All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. So, David Gilmour, he's in the news. His album hit #1. We'll talk about that, plus what he had to say about Pink Floyd. Before I go there, though, this album came out last year. Kind of hard to see because there's a bit of glare here. This gentleman, Bernie Schiaravelli, he is, pretty sure I said his name correctly. He is really cool. The album is called More to This Life. The spelling on his last name is Chiaralle. And Bernie's claim to fame, other than being a great songwriter and apparently a very good musician, is he was in Michael McDonald's touring band. And I believe he's even sat in with the Doobie Brothers on one occasion. This does not sound like the Doobie Brothers, though. This is very polished adult contemporary singer songwriter, West Coast, but just good old school melodic music. And so I was promoting this last year, and I recently stumbled upon it again because I had the song, the title track, More to This Life. I had that on repeat play for about a month last year, and it brought back really good memories of last year. So Bernie Schiaravelli, and I think I spelled it correctly. You can check it out. Google it. He has a website. You can buy his stuff. I would recommend it. Buy a CD. I believe you can stream this anywhere you want to, but buy a CD if you're so inclined and you want to support the artist. Now, David Gilmour's album, Luck and Strange, hits #1 in the UK, knocking out the entire Oasis catalog, which had returned to the charts in full force after they announced a reunion tour. They currently occupy 3 of the, I just missed the Oasis thing. I went back and I listened to Oasis, and it's not bad. It's not bad. See, I judge the 90s pretty harshly. And so Oasis is kind of a cool band, but Pink Floyd is probably a bit cooler, So Oasis has 3 of the 5 top positions on the UK's official album chart. But Gilmour is at #1 with Luck and Strange. And he went out there and made a statement, thanked everybody for supporting the album. He previously topped the chart with On an Island back in 2006, which is a very good album, but I would say this is a better album. And Rattle That Lock, which again is a pretty decent album from 2015. This is a better album than both of those albums. That's my humble opinion on it. Gilmour has also addressed the Pink Floyd thing again, as apparently UK's ITV News was asking him that question, as does pretty much everyone who talks to him, and he's not taking the bait. He says there's only 3 people left, and we're not talking, and unlikely to, so it's not going to happen. Now, let me impart some speculation here. So Roger Waters and David Gilmour were on a call, and apparently they were discussing probably selling the Pink Floyd catalog. That would be my guess, or stuff related to that. But the call, it looked like both of them were smiling and relatively friendly. And, money will do that. Money, it's a gas, right? Sorry, I had to do that once. But he says there's only 3 people left. Well, when he was running Pink Floyd, it was him and Mason and Richard Wright. And so it in a way, I mean, there was no Roger Waters. And I think the issue now is, hey, if you can get Roger and Dave back in, that's kind of like having Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, or Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey. I mean, it gives it a lot of credibility if those 2 guys get back together and said, hey, let's make some music. We may disagree on politics. Maybe we can have a struggle session and write this stuff down and then record some really intense music to go with it. Wouldn't that be just insane? And they would make tons of money in the process. And Roger could give it to all of his stuff that he believes in, and Dave could give it to all the things that he believes in. I don't know. Sometimes these guys are pretty short sighted. They may not like one another. I mean, look at what Journey is doing right now. There are two guys who essentially run the franchise who don't like each other, but they realize that, hey, we're going to make money. So we're going to go out there on the road and make the money and make the fans happy. In this case, this would give closure to Pink Floyd to wrap things up. And Nick Mason, I mean, hello, Nick said he's there. He said it over and over again that he would do it if these guys decided they wanted to do it. I don't know, folks. It's a shot in the dark, as Ozzy Osbourne used to sing. Hopefully Ozzy will sing again one day out there, but it doesn't look good for him. Anyway, this is the album by Bernie Chiaravelli. I think you should check this out. I really do. This is so off the beaten track, and this guy is very talented, and I think he's got more stuff out there since this came out. So you can peruse his website and sample the music. And like I always say, 100% money back guarantee. If you're just streaming, 100%. If you're buying, you're on your own. But like most people aren't buying anything today when it comes to music. You should patronize the artist. Best thing to do is listen to it and then go, you know what? I want to have a hard copy of this album. That's what I did, and I don't regret it. I have an old car with a CD player in it, so it just makes me happy to play CDs. I don't know why that is, but it just does. I even have a turntable. Yeah, that turntable behind me, that's operational. And I do play records on that thing, and that's a lot of fun too. All right, folks. So one more little order of business before I leave, at least temporarily. I'll be back. Is I want to thank everybody who stepped up and did this buy me a coffee thing yesterday, which was insane. All right. I did a video about the shadow banning or the censorship or whatever. I have no idea. The algorithm doing its thing and skipping, avoiding. I know I'm talking about politics more and more, and it's probably going to continue. So you're going to have to bear with that. That's just something I'm going to do. And just if you can step up and you want to become a patron or a YouTube member, it's helpful because it lifts my spirits. It keeps me going here. It just stinks like when your boss reduces your pay for no reason other than you become outspoken on a couple of issues. That's the only thing I can think of is, hey, we'll keep you here. You're driving some traffic, but we're not gonna really, promote you or highlight your channel anymore. And I think that's what's happening. So I'd like to get to the point where I don't care about how many views I'm getting on a video rather than saying, uh-oh, look what happened on this video. Because that way I can do videos about anything I want to talk about and not worry about not getting enough viewership. And what happens with a lot of the videos that do get views is I have to kind of twist myself to do that kind of content. Like I'm not TMZ. I don't want to become TMZ, but even David Gilmour talking about Pink Floyd, is that TMZ? I don't know. It's what he's doing. He's talking about Pink Floyd. But, if Pink Floyd got back together again, I think that would be a huge story. And so kind of being preemptive and just giving it a little bit of airtime here, I think is appropriate. All right. I've done enough talking here, but that's what I specialize in. God bless everyone. Vote correctly, please. Vote correctly in November. Vote for lower taxes, lower interest rates, a secure southern border, and sanity in the culture war. Vote for those things, please.